Welcome to the Hire Rockstar Talent Podcast. Today I have with me Kaylee Fry. Kaylee's worked for me for a couple of years now, and she's got a few interesting stories that I really think are worth sharing. You know, today when we talk about employees, many of the subjects just naturally that we talk about are negative, right? They just, we always go there. We always go to that place, right? What sucks, what we don't like. So today I want to spin it, right? I want to flip it around a little bit and talk about some positivity. And I want to inject that in here where we can. So today, what we're going to talk about is caring, what caring looks like, and what an employee who cares really looks like in the things that they say. You know, it's one thing, if it's coming from us, the business owner side, but let's take a look at the people that are, in the fight every single day that are actually on the floor and experiencing these things. And that's the side that we want to pivot to. And I want you guys, you business owners out there that are listening to this, retail and restaurant business owners, I want you to hear this, okay? Welcome, Kaylee. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Not good, not bad. Thank you for jumping on here with me today.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so we're going to jump right in here. So, talk to me about the last few jobs that you had, specifically, though, about the culture, the lack of culture and environment and toxicity, not where you are now, the couple of jobs before that.
There has been pretty much all of my work history before now, has been with environments that were toxic and immature and not well managed. It just makes things really hectic when you don't have that connection and the good environment to hold everyone together. It makes you really dread getting up in the morning and going to work. It makes you just really like watch the clock and wait for the day to be over. There's not, teamwork is just non-existent. Um, and teamwork is what makes everything easier at any given job. So, in order to have a good team, you have to have a good environment that pushes them to be together and want to be there together and work for the common goal.
So, I mean, because you worked for some small companies and some real big, large companies, did you
Mhm.
find that there was a lot of disorganization? There was like a lack of communication, and that's what the impact was on direct impact on the culture and environment?
Yeah, all of the above. It's just everywhere that I've been previously has basically been every employee for themselves. And that would be including management, poor communication with management, and just the ideal that they're better than you are. No communication, no push to be better. Um, just a lot of criticism with not constructive criticism, you know what I mean? Everyone's just
Mm.
not together, breaking each other down and just making everything really negative and hectic and stressful. And it takes a real toll on the person and the environment after a while.
One of the things like when I you say to yourself like, how does this kind of stuff happen out there? I think there was this big push years and years ago to grow, to build more locations, to build more locations, right? So now what
Mhm.
we've done is we've actually diluted, like, spread out the high performing people, and we've filled in the gaps with a lot of lower performing people, which has done a lot of damage, right? When you have weaker people, people that and you also what you did is you diluted out the management, right? So now what's happened is to fulfill spots and bodies, if you will, in all of these different locations. Now you have weaker people, or even people that they shouldn't even be in a management role, are now being forced and thrust into that role and justified by putting a fancy colored shirt on them or giving them like $1 more an hour. It was more of a justification to say, hey, I need you to keep doing what you're doing because I got to be in 7 places at once now. So I'm going to pat you on the head and rub your belly and stick you in this role. And again, I'm not demeaning people, but this is what I feel has happened. And now we've put weak people in places where they really shouldn't be. And I think this is what's causing a lot of the things that you're saying.
Especially more so too as time goes on and companies become more in higher demand of just bodies. So people wind up being rewarded for simply being present instead of being worthwhile, I
Hmm.
guess,
Hmm.
not to be thing or anything. And then when employed the high performing, hard working employees see that, they get flustered and they want to give up. Because if you can be rewarded for simply just showing up and not doing as much as the high performing people, then you lose the high performing people in the long run.
This is going to sound horrible, and I'm not calling anybody a pig when I say this, but a lot of times you can take lipstick and put it on a pig and it's still a pig, right? It just may look a little prettier. So when you take, an employee and you thrust them into a role that they shouldn't be in, and you now call them a leader of some level, manager, assistant manager, whatever it is, right? Whatever that title is, they're still the same person that they were over here. They don't have the skills, or have they been taught, trained, and educated the skills to be in that role? They just kind of got thrust in that role. It's almost the equivalent of, let's just push in, you go to the dock, you push in the water and then say, oh, you can't swim? Oh shit, I should have asked you that first, right? But this is, I think, is what happens over and over and over and over again. And business owners do it out of a necessity because they don't really have any other options, right? And I think what it's done is it's caused this big kind of Pandora's box, if you will.
Most oftentimes, I feel like it's based off of just service time. Like you'll see the people who have been with the company the longest get put into the higher positions, whether it's fit for them or not.
Mm,
And also, those types of situations come up based on like threats. Like I'm saying, with like it's just a need for bodies. If management is being threatened with losing that body for one reason or another, instead of just cutting the toxic tie and letting it go, letting it drift off,
mm.
they scramble and they give that raise or they do whatever it is to make that employee happy, which just continues to diminish the overall environment. But
Yeah, I think it compounds the problem, right? It makes it actually worse. All we're doing
solve
is kicking the can down the road a little bit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
Oh
you.
no, that's exactly what I was saying. It solves the problem for a second. It's a temporary fix, but it makes the overall problem a lot bigger.
So interesting. So, how do you feel today about the environment that you're in now? Where you're working now. And by the way, everybody, she works for me. So,
um, I feel good about it. I feel really good about it. It's one probably the only job that I can say I've ever enjoyed being at. Not only just the coworkers I have, their management, or the customer base, just all of it, the whole. It's more than just four walls. It's like a second home a lot of the time, and that's not just because I'm there a lot.
mm,
Um, it's just because it's enjoyable to be at. It's a place that I really care about. It's a place that I want to see grow and succeed, and I want us all to grow and succeed with it. Like we just become a family unit, and that's not. A lot of people say that about their jobs, but like I'm not meaning to be cliche. It really does. Like the teamwork that we have, and that would none of that would be possible without the overall culture, the environment, and just the way that we operate. We would be
so
just like a toxic place if we didn't have the structure that we have.
today's episode is sponsored by Smart Systems. Are you tired of your best people being poached? Stolen? Smart helps you create unpoachable rock stars. Check out the link below today. Would you say that, some of the things that we highlight on, and this is one of the things that we really pushed with our system. So everybody, I developed a system called the Smart System, and what we're after is exposing liars and getting people to care, and that's what the main drivers of our system are. But there's really big components around culture and environment that is why we're talking to Kaylee today. So Kaylee, do you think like communication, doing what you say, people caring and giving a shit today, right? Accountability, training, these type of things. I mean, without them, I think it's game over.
100%. If everything falls apart without all of those key components in place.
So one of the things that we created is we really focused on this word care, right? This word, care. This means a lot to us. And I remember people used to say to me all the time, they'd say, "Oh, no one gives a shit, no one cares." And I'm like, man, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't understand it. It's so general, right? It's so broad. It's like, I want to throw this ball and I want it to land in Iowa. Like, I mean, okay, like that's, it's got to be more specific, right? So I really, for years, started digging into this. And I met a guy named Mark Miller and, read his books and did some of his training and really started looking into this culture and environment piece and breaking down this word care. We actually created an acronym and gave it some context, right? So one of the pieces was connection, right? So tell me, in the environment that you're in now, connection with your coworkers, connection with the customers, what you see when you hear that word connection in the environment that you're in today.
What do you mean? What do I see with
Like
connection?
it's
Like,
in the importance of it. When it's not there, what happens when it's there. You see the effects of it. Imagine, you walk in and you see a customer and you know their name,
oh
right?
yeah,
They see
and
your face every day. I mean, how many times do customers walk into places and it's like they don't know, like the door revolves so fast they don't know even who they're talking about. I mean, we have people in our environment that, I mean, they know each other's the names of the kids. They're asking about your kids and you're asking about their dog and all this. I don't think when people hear connection, like, they get a little uncomfortable talking about this stuff, but it's massively huge.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it just brightens the entire interaction. Not only to know their name, their order, having it going for them if we see them pull into the parking lot, or the second we hear their voice, over the speaker, we just go, "Oh, hey, so and so, you're all set. Good morning," and they become part of the family unit, kind of like I'm saying. Even if we don't know their name, just people that we see every day, it's just really important. Like you said, we get to know people simply just by their order or by their kids, or by, we actually have a couple of people that bring their pets through, so we may not know their names, but we know their pets. And that the whole thing is just so important. It brightens the whole interaction. Even something as simple as just stopping what you're doing and just saying hi. If you've literally never seen this person before, hi, I'll be right over for you. Hi, good morning. Like anything, just make that connection, make that person feel recognized and like a human.
We built the restaurant in the middle of 4 or 5 competitors, like they're directly around us. And I would tend to say, because of this one piece, now we're going to talk about all 4 pieces, right? And all 4 pieces are, in my opinion, like a building has cornerstones. And, if you don't have them all and one's missing, the whole building falls over, right? So this is one piece of the whole puzzle. But I would bet dollars to donuts, not to pun it that way, but customers drive by the competitors and come to us because of this.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have people coming from other towns even to come to see us. It's incredible.
Now, here's what's interesting, right? To do that means that their experience was great yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And the day before that, and the day before that, right? So there's a consistency piece, right, of doing it over and over and over again. So by the time they're coming there now, it's like it's part of their routine, right? It's ingrained in them because it's happened so many times. I think what people, they don't realize that if you're in a line and the line's long and you're willing to wait in the line because the line moves, that means you're in the line yesterday and it moved,
Mm-hmm.
which means you have to do it again tomorrow and over again and over again. And I think that's the key to, especially a QSR, a quick service type restaurant, or a retail outlet. I think this is key. You got to have it.
Even if it's not that one person that comes back day after day after day, it's the word of mouth too. Get quite a few people that say, "Oh, my relative or my coworker or my friend mentioned it," and I'd say at least 2 or 3 times a day we get those people that say, "I've never been here before. I don't know what to order." And we're in a pretty small town, so to continually get those people every day that go, "Hey, it's my first time here," and we've been, open in operation for, I don't know, over a year, to still get those first timers every day is just crazy to me.